So, I hope you had a great week. I know many of you were inundated by rain this week and there's been some flooding. I want to let you know that the bill that passed out of the House a few weeks ago that would reform the Federal Emergency Management Agency in times of flooding did pass out of the Senate committee this week. And so I was very pleased at that. We want to make sure that the FEMA is there and does their job, which is to provide timely assistance to those in the time of a disaster. So hopefully with the floods we've had, we won't need FEMA's support, but certainly we have in the past and we may in the future. And I was glad that that bill is continuing to move forward and hopefully will come up for a full vote in the Senate and be on the President's desk very soon. But overall this week we had a lot of things pass and we were focused on national defense. In my subcommittee, we had a hearing looking at some allegations of wasteful spending and making sure we are holding the Pentagon to account for every dollar that is spent. But also we passed the major funding bill for the defense, the actual appropriations bills. And that follows up on the recommendations that we in the Armed Services Committee passed a few weeks ago to make sure our troops have what they need to be safe, to come home, and to win wars. Included in that are several provisions for our district. There are 22 extra F-18s that are going to be made in Missouri, not specifically in our district, but very important. We also have increased funding for the schools in the areas of military, such as around Fort Leonard Wood, Whiteman Air Force Base. We have phase 1 of a new hospital facility be built at Fort Leonard Wood. And we have the defense management system that is needed to upgrade the B-2 stealth bomber. So I was very pleased with that. In addition, I was very, very pleased when President Trump acted decisively on an issue that I have been advocating for a long time now, for the past several months, and that is to reverse the bad policy that President Obama inflicted on our military last year, allowing for the open service of transgenders in the military, giving them full military medical rights to sex change operations. And the reason I oppose that and have offered amendments over the last couple of weeks to address this was because of the high cost and the threat to a readiness of our troops because of it. We estimate that over the next 10 years, if this policy had been allowed to continue, it would have drained $1.35 billion from our national defense. And that money could equal 13 new F-35 airplanes or 14 F-18 airplanes. It makes no sense to be spending our precious defense dollars on sex change operations, which make people non-deployable for a significant amount of time. The average sex change operation would take our soldiers about 300 days to recover from, and that's not counting the 25% complication rate that many have that would require a second surgery. In addition, there are lifetime hormone treatments that preclude them from being able to be deployed. So why would we create soldiers who cannot be deployed? It just doesn't make sense. It was a bad policy, and we needed to go back to the policy that had been stood well the test of time, and that is the ability to make sure every defense dollar goes to meeting the threats and every soldier is able to be deployed. So while I've been working on this in the Armed Services Committee in the House and offered amendments and have been arguing this case, I was very pleased the President took the actions he needed to reverse this policy. So I wanted to give you that brief update, and thank you for reading my newsletter. It's an honor to serve you. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about all these issues and hope you have a great weekend. God bless.